All right, guys. For today, very short notes. Obviously, it is literally just one page today. We are just getting more practice with making sure we can count how much time has passed. Some of us struggle with that. I'm going to be giving you time cards. So we're going to be figuring out how much time you put on your time clock and then figuring out what your pay would be before taxes come out. Okay, that's what we're working on today. So just a reminder, if you're looking at weekly, remember that's 52 paychecks a year. Bi-weekly is 26. Monthly is 12. Semi-monthly is 24. Time and a half, you multiply by 1.5, and double time, you multiply by 2. You what? It's switched on your, oh, it is. That's weird. I wonder how that happened. Sorry, I don't know how that happened. All right, but should we already have known this? Yes, we should have. All right, because this confuses students all the time, and we're going from like a decimal versus time makes a big difference. 15 minutes is what decimal of an hour? It's 0.25, right? A quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. I love that you guys went for the fraction. Typically, I'm always all about fractions. But when we're talking about time, you usually don't list it as a fraction. You usually write it as a decimal. 30 minutes, that's 0.5, half, right? And then 45 minutes, 0.75. Right, because that's 3/4 of an hour. So when you're seeing that, don't think, some people see like 4.25, and like, yeah, 4 hours, 25 minutes. No, that's 4 hours and then 0.25 of an hour, which is only 15 minutes. Okay, so just be real careful with that. All right, so let's take a look at Ben Jones. So this is his time card. We have in, out on the same day. Why? Break, right? You had a lunch break in there, or break or some sort in the middle of his day. Okay, so we clocked in the morning at 10 a.m., clocked out at noon, clocked back out at 12:30, and then, or clocked back in, and then clocked out at the end of the day at 5. So how many hours did he work that day? So my suggestion for you guys is let's, from every in and out, calculate those, and we can kind of add them together. So from 10 to noon is how long? That's 2 hours. And then from 12:30 to 5, 4.5. That was a little sketchy there. So he worked 6.5 hours that day. Some people are going to struggle on these time sheets. That's where, when we do the project for this chapter, a lot of people will struggle is right here. They won't calculate their time right. All right, so Tuesday, 9 to noon. That's 3 hours. Hopefully those are some easy ones there. And then from 12:30 to 5, 4.5 again. So altogether, 7.5. Now, Wednesday is where people start to mess up. So from 8:45 to 12:15. Remember, we count on our fingers, right? It's okay here. So 8:45, and if some of you are not going to want to do this where people can see you, I'm going to do it for you right in front of you, so don't feel bad about it, okay? So 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. How is it from 11:45 to 12:15? Another 30 minutes. So that's 3.5 right here. Again, count on the fingers, guys. It's going to help you out. And then 12:45 to 5:15. So 12:45, 1:45, 2:45, 3:45, 4:45. So 4.5 hours. So 3.5 and 4.5 is 8 hours. All right, Thursday, 8:45 to noon. So 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45, and another 15 minutes, right? So how would I write that? It's 3 1/4, so 3.25. That's, if you're comfortable with fractions, that's fine. I'm not going to count you wrong on that. All right, and then from 12:30 to 5:15, so 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, in 45 minutes. So be 4.75. So that'd be 8 hours altogether. What happens if you miss just one part of that? What's wrong with everything after that? It's going to all be wrong. Yeah. All right, Friday, 8 to noon. That's 4 hours. That should be an easy one. And then 12:30 to 6. 5.5, so 5.5. So 9.5. And a longer day on Friday. Then we came in Saturday and we worked from 10 to 2. It's 4 hours. All right, so next thing it wants is my total hours worked. So we just need to add up all our hours. Yeah, 43.5. How'd you guys do? Good. Questions on that first part? That's where most students are going to struggle. They're going to count the hours wrong. All right. All right. So then where I want you to actually finish out so we can figure out how much money he's making before taxes come out. So if he normally makes $10.50 an hour and he gets time and a half times his regular pay for hours over 40. All right, so first thing it says is regular. So for regular, how many hours? 40. So then overtime hours would be 3.5, 3.5. His regular rate, $10.50. You don't have to do any work there. How do I figure out the overtime rate? It's $10.50 times 1.5. So $15.75. All right, and then I give you spots to tell me the amount for each. So how do I figure out regular? 40 times 10.5, so $420. $15.75 times the 3.5 hours he worked. So what are you writing for that? $55 and it says 0.125. Maybe 1.3, right? 0.125. That 5 is going to round that 2 up to a 3. Talk and change, guys. We need 2 decimal spots. Okay, and then my total earnings. We just need to add those together, right? So all together, we made $475.13. Before taxes, of course. All right, let me give you guys some time. I want you to work through the next example all by yourself. Start to finish. Go ahead and try to find your hours and the pay and everything, and we'll check it at the end. We'll see how we did. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk through this because a lot of us struggled. I would say more of you struggled with your time than actually got it right the first try. Okay, so don't feel bad if that is you. There are a lot of people in the same boat, okay? So for Monday, 8 to noon, we should know that one. How long is it from 8 to noon? 4 hours. 4 hours. 12:30 to 4:30. It's an easier one. That's 4 hours. So we have 8 hours there. All right, Tuesday, 8 to noon. Another 4 hours. 12:30 to 4:30 again. Another 4 hours. So another 8. All right. If you missed those first 2, we have bigger problems. But I think we all did okay there. So Wednesday is where you started to have some things change a little bit. So 7:45, 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45, 12:45. So that's 5 hours. That was an easier one. 1:15, 2:15, 3:15, 4:15, 5:15. So then from 45 or 15 to 45, that's going to be 4.5. So 4.5. So that's 9.5. All right, Thursday, 7:30. So we have 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So from 11:30 all the way back around a quarter after. That's 45 minutes, so that's 4.75. 12:45, 1:45, 2:45, 3:45, 4:45, 5:45, and then back around the 15. So that'd be 5.5. So what's 4.75 and 5.5? 10.25. All right, 7:45, 8:45, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. So 4.25. And then 12:30, 4:30 is 4 hours. So 8.25. And then Saturday, it's actually nothing. So altogether, your hours added up should have been 44 hours. All right, and then figuring out the rest of it. So I had 40 regular, which then is 4 overtime. This was $9.75, and some of you did not read carefully. Overtime rate is $19.50 because it's double time. Some of you did time and a half again. It's 2 times. So that's going to be $19.50. So my regular pay, 40 times $9.75 is $3.90. 4 times $19.50 is $78. For a total of $468. Some of you, I think, realized as you went through, if I didn't catch your mistake early enough when I was walking around, if you missed like 0.25 of an hour, your total, everything was wrong. Okay? So my suggestion to you, now when we do projects in here, I'm not going to check every single step of your project to make sure it's right. Okay, if you have questions, I'll answer your questions, but I'm not going to do everything for you. But on the part of the projects where you have to do your time card, once you have your total hours, come see me. Let me check it to make sure that's okay so that everything after it's not wrong. Okay, make sure you ask me to check total hours before you move on. Same thing with homework tonight. I believe I have 4 of them, 4 time cards like this, where you have to do the time card and then figure out how much money they made. Check with me the hours before you do the rest of it. Okay, that way, make sure the hours is done correctly. Questions on anything, guys? No? Okay. So we have quite a bit of time, and the rest of the time will be yours to work on your assignment.